Good evening and welcome to the Select Board meeting for the Town of Rockland, Tuesday, December 2nd, 2025. Please stand and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. Chief Deputy, can you start us off?
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be advised that this open meeting is being broadcast live and recorded for playback by WRPS at youtube.com/WRPS Rockland. Please go to WRPSRockland.com for further information. First on the agenda, community announcements. Doug?
Thanks, Mike. Two things. The first is just public notification that the winter parking ban is in effect starting on Monday, December 1st at 1:30 a.m. And the police will be enforcing that as they always do. And then second, I asked Chief Duffy if he could come up now to give a very brief update to the board and the public on the recent fire at the nursing home on Webster Street. So I'll turn it over to the Chief.
Chief Duffy, welcome.
Good evening, everybody. How are you?
Hello.
I just want to give you a quick update on the event that occurred Saturday evening, right as the stroll, or Saturday afternoon, right as the stroll was, getting into full swing. Shortly after 4 o'clock, we received a call for a structure fire at the Webster Park Nursing Facility Rehab at 56 Webster Street. We responded. We found active fire on the 3rd floor. Rockland crews were very quickly and efficiently able to get hose lines up to that fire and extinguish it. Fire was located in a common area above the ceiling on the 3rd floor. We don't know what the cause was. It's still under investigation. Nothing intentional or nefarious. I have to say that the quick reactions to the firefighters working on duty that night, again, the fire department, the Rockland firefighters are second to none. They do a great job. They do an awesome job. Recognize that they had a fire in a full nursing facility. They were at 102% capacity is how they put it to us. It really kicked things into overdrive. Quickly got additional help there called mutual aid. And within half an hour of the call, they had 22 residents from the 3rd floor evacuated down to a safer, less smoke-filled environment, which is amazing because those patients had to be carried down. So the response by the members of the fire department, I can't be more proud as a fire chief of their actions. The nursing home staff was incredible as well. They were already performing evacuations and closing doors and making sure that the residents, were kind of isolated from the smoke until that they could start carrying the patients down and assisting the firefighters. At one time, when I got on scene, I did a walk around and you can see the glass stairwells at each end of that building, and one of the nursing home staff was literally carrying a patient over their shoulders down those stairs. That's no small feat. So, the nursing homes the administration should be proud of their staff. Worked very well with us throughout the whole incident to develop, the evacuation. Relied on the building commissioner and the wiring inspector to come and give an assessment of the building, whether we could keep portions of it open or not. The sprinkler system did work within the building, which was great, but the water damage on the electrical system was just too much, so we had to shut down power to the whole thing. And mutual aid. The fact that we were able within 3 hours, once we started evacuating that facility, 3 hours, we were able to clear 102 patients from the building and get them on the way to other facilities throughout the state. We relied on approximately 36 communities to assist us. Of that, there was probably 27 ambulances, and then another 50 ambulances from private industry ambulances, Brewster and Coastal South Shore Health Systems, which is South Shore Hospital. We had patients ranging from the North Shore to Danvers, Fall River on the South Coast, and all the way out to Orleans, Brewster on the Cape. So it was an amazing event to watch unfold, and the mutual aid, the chiefs that came over to assist, kind of help coordinate and do logistics while we all ran it. it was wonderful. So, nobody got injured. There were no injuries due to smoke inhalation or anything like that from the fire. So, you know, it was a big event, pretty newsworthy, but, I just wanted you to know that, you know, you have an awesome fire department, so.
Yeah, up at the store the other night, happened to look down. The response from the surrounding communities was unprecedented. And then seeing it the next day on social media, the amount of communities that had put out messages saying that they had somebody participating or some apparatus at the scene, looking down from Union Street down Webster Street. I mean,
Yeah.
no idea what the heck is going on. There were so many sirens and lights and stuff
Sure.
like that. Just it was quite the scene, and the ladder being stretched across. You know, obviously, you know, we talk about it all the time. You know, we talk about how much we appreciate the job you guys do, and the training that goes into being prepared for situations like this, and that goes for both your fire department, also I think our police department, and that really shows when these situations come up. Nobody's ever prepared to. You know, you guys have never emptied a nursing home with 102 patients before, all right? So that's a
No,
first.
and,
right?
and hopefully we never have to do it
And
again.
of course, but to
Correct.
do it so, you know, flawlessly is a tribute to the training that goes in. And I'm appreciative every day for the departments that we have in this town. So thank you, Chief Duffy. Anybody else?
Yeah, it's a great job. I mean, it was freezing that night.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was cool.
Super cold that night, too. I keep getting asked if the nursing home will be open again soon.
So we don't know what the plan on the nursing facility is at the time. Obviously, they have a ton of cleanup to do. They have to assess their electrical systems. So, you know, we'll be working with them along with the building commissioner and whoever else we need to get involved with that.
Yeah.
I don't know what their plans are on how
Okay.
quickly it'll be back open.
Yep, and yeah, I also wanted to say, Steve and I this week attended the Firefighter of the Year Awards, where 7 of our guys were honored by the governor. And, you know, Tommy Henderson got a Medal of Valor for the fire on Summer Street. And I would say that this situation would merit being recognized again in '26. It was pretty amazing.
Absolutely, it's already on a sticky note on my
Yeah.
computer,
Yep.
reminding me to submit the application once I get the initial paperwork done.
Yep. That's
Yeah.
it.
As I had mentioned before the meeting, I have a loved one who was actually on the 3rd floor who was evacuated, and so I've been very much in touch with Webster Park administration since the fire, but I can't thank you enough, and all of our community can't thank you enough. It was a very heroic act in keeping everyone safe, so we're very fortunate. Thank you.
Yeah, no, you're welcome. It's definitely the department. It was amazing to watch them work throughout this event. One thing that triggered my mind was that if anybody does have loved ones or needs to ask questions, there is a if you call the main number for the Webster Park facility, there is a recording with information, and then for any reasons that you know, if anybody is having trouble gathering the information they need, they can feel free to call my office, and I'll assist in any way I can.
Chief, is a real testament to your leadership and the leadership of your lieutenants. Really want to commend the staff at Webster Park Rehab as well. It really shows they're well-trained, and an event like that can go sideways very quickly. So to have
Very.
0 injuries, everyone evacuated, while we had a town-wide event going on.
Yes.
So kudos to you and your team.
Yeah, and that's in addition to that, that's kudos to the Rockland Police Department too.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I mean, because we really did pull their resources away. I mean, it's pretty heavy, you know, traffic duty and, you know, containing the crowd and making sure drivers don't get up onto the Union Street. And we throw this in and just, we really messed up traffic patterns throughout the town for 4 hours. But, you know, the Rockland Police Department was great. You know, they were able to kind of to flow with how we were changing up. And I mean, we had traffic from Webster Park all the way down to the E.T. Wright building through the intersection, you know, just completely blocked off. So, you know, kudos to them as well.
Yeah, I just ran into Sean Flynn, who works at Rockland Athletics. He has some aerial shots from his drone.
Oh, wow.
I think he's planning on sharing it with you guys. But
Oh,
yeah, you can
excellent.
see that line stretching down.
Yeah.
And again, thank you to all the other communities and
For
private
sure.
ambulance companies that helped.
I don't want to forget that John's here.
I'll just say thank you for everyone that was involved in the evacuation. Everyone did a great job, and very thankful to have the departments that we have here in town.
Yep. Thank you.
Okay, so
Thank
if
you,
there's
everybody.
nothing else, Chief, appreciate it. Appreciate the work you guys do.
Thank you.
Okay, next on the agenda, minutes from 11/18/2025.
Motion to approve? I'll second.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second.
I got a motion from Maury, second from Steve. All those in favor?
Yes.
Okay, I see John now. There he is. Next on the agenda, public hearing, FY '26 assessing classification hearing. Meg Peterson, Director of Assessing. Megan, welcome.
Hi, thank you. Sorry, just one second.
No worries, take your time, Meg.
Need a motion to open the public hearing?
Okay. I'm just gonna
I
move
don't see it.
John back up.
Okay, you know, while you do that, I'm just gonna entertain a motion to open the public hearing. Do I have a motion to open?
Second.
Motion open?
I have a motion, I have a second. All those in favor, roll call. John?
Yes.
Tiffany?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Lori?
Yep.
And myself? Okay, with this hearing now being open, Meg, you all set?
Yes, I'm all set.
All right, perfect. Floor is yours.
So I'd like to just start by thanking the finance team here for their support. There are a lot of pieces that have to come together in order to have our values, growth, everything's certified by the DOR. So everything, there's a lot of collaboration. So I just wanted to thank them. It's a lot of different pieces. The purpose of tonight's classification hearing is for the select board to vote on 3 different questions. One is the residential exemption, the second is the residential factor, and the third is a small commercial exemption. My goal tonight is to provide you with information, just updated kind of snapshot of where we are valuation-wise for this fiscal year, and give you the recommendations of our Board of Assessors on these 3 questions. I'm just going to start by highlighting some of the information that I've given you in the packets. We usually share these kind of stats each fiscal year, so this is the breakdown of the total valuation of the town, which is at the bottom there in green, just over 3.6 billion. This is about a 5.5% increase from last year. The way that it breaks down between residential and commercial you can see here. So commercial, when we say CIP, it's the commercial, industrial, and personal property all together that we say is commercial. So when we're saying CIP, that's what we mean. So residential is making up 80.6 or 6415% of the total valuation. Commercial has about 19.4. This is very close to where we were last year, so not a lot of swing either way as far as the shares of each class. On the next page, this is, we've like to show you the breakdown of how we calculate the maximum allowable levy along with the estimated levy, or tax levy for the fiscal year 26 with our excess levy capacity. So if we start at the top, we're beginning with the levy limit from 25 then we add to that the 2.5% and the new growth, which this year is at 326,000. We're really about the same amount as we were last year. We had budgeted for about 200,000, so we're over that. We actually had a bit more residential growth contributing to that number this year and a little less commercial, so it sort of evened out to be around the same. So with those calculations, we have our levy limit for fiscal 26. From there, we take the debt exclusions, and then this year we do have the capital expenditure exclusion. So that's the ladder truck for the 2 million that was voted at the special election in the fall. So those numbers break down to show us the maximum allowable levy. We subtract our estimated levy, which comes from our accountant in the recap, which is 50,417,000, that number. And we have our excess levy capacity of 60,285. So that's also similar to where we were last year. I think we were just under 61,000. So those are that calculation. I wanted to share that part. And then I just want to, we usually like to compare to last year. So this, I'm sorry, the screen is blocking. The estimated tax rate up in the corner is 1387. I'm sorry, it's blocking by the Zoom, but that's okay. So we get that by taking the levy, or the total valuation for the town, which is 3.6 billion number that we mentioned, and dividing it by the estimated levy. The single family, the average value for this year is 548,175. That's about a 6% increase from last year. On the next line, the average single family tax bill, we see that go from 7,072 last year up to 7,603. So I just want to note that's a fairly higher, percentage here, the 7.5%. On the next line underneath it, I'm showing you that this is again where we're incorporating that capital exclusion. So that's only for this year. That $2 million is going to be done after fiscal 26. So that's not, I just want to point that out. So it looks like a high jump, but that's the reason. So I just wanted to remind you of that. And then again, I think I mentioned the total valuation for the town is a 5.5% increase from last year. So on the next page, I just wanted to go back quickly, just because I find this interesting. This is just a graph to show the average single-family value as we've calculated it throughout the last 5 years. So we can see how far we've come from fiscal 21, but the right-hand corner with the orange circle, that's the new value, or the average single-family value for fiscal 26, which is that 548,000 number. And then I hope this isn't confusing. I find this trend kind of interesting. So this is the same. We're not talking about tax bill. We're talking about the average single-family value, which we use a lot to talk about, potential effects on taxpayers. We'll refer to this number with the average single-family value. Back that tallest bar in fiscal 23, that was when we saw almost a 15% increase from fiscal 22 to 23, and we had a lot of people surprised. So I'd just like to take this opportunity to remind everybody that assessed value is based on the fair market value. So for that jump where you saw it go up so high and everyone was a little bit surprised, this was like the post-COVID market where the market was inflated, there was not very much inventory, so we saw a big jump. The last few years we've seen it stabilize a bit, still strong, but also kind of trending. The last 2 years, well, this year and last year, we're about 6%. And the numbers, just from analyzing the sales from this calendar year, it looks like will be similar to that for the next fiscal year. So I just wanted to point that out where we had that big jump, yes, but we are seeing it kind of plateau and stabilize. But so back to the tax rate calculation. So for the uniform tax rate, which is a single tax rate, that's how we calculate out the 1387. So you're taking basically each class, commercial and residential, their share of what that levy is, and they're paying the same rate. So they're paying proportionately to what their share of that levy is. The next couple slides, we're just going to show, this is kind of one of the main questions that you're voting on tonight is the split rate. The next 2 slides are going to show, and I know these are a lot of numbers, but basically it shows the potential shift. If you were going to shift and adopt a split rate, you can adopt up to 50% or 0.5 factor. A single uniform tax rate is a factor of 1. So what I would like to show here, if we go to the next page, we are, and we mentioned at the beginning how our shares, residential and commercial, are about 80-20, or around there, 80.5, 19.5. If you were to shift the tax rate 20%, that highlighted line in the middle where I'm working off that average single family number, you're basically, the way that ours would work if you were to shift is that you're shifting a big portion of the burden to the commercial class for only a small bit of relief for the residential. So in that last column, even if we shifted 20%, which is a large shift, it's not really, we wouldn't do that right away. You can see that the commercial class is paying an additional $1,500 on their tax bill, and the residential is only saving that $300 or so, which is about 5%. So it's just a question that always comes up, but we do like to show that because it is quite an impact in the negative way for the commercial. So those are, that's a bit of information. Sorry, does anybody have any questions so far? No? Okay. So the next, I just want to, before we get back to the questions, I just also wanted to take a minute to reference some of the tax relief that's available in Rockland, and then I'll just go back to those 3 questions. So we do have exemptions or abatements which are available for seniors that are based on income and assets. I also wanted to mention the veteran exemptions. So those are for disabled veterans that own property. You might remember that the HERO Act was signed last year. Our veterans agent, Tim White, he initiated doing some of the local options for that act, where we were able to increase some of the exemptions that hadn't been adjusted for years. So those are available. We always try to get the word out. Some people just don't know, or they're different in every town. So it's just check with us, call us, ask us. Tim is available. So that's another option. We do have a work-off program as well, like a volunteer program for seniors and veterans. So that's an option. And there's more. I just wanted to highlight that while I'm here. And then I also just want to point out, too, that all of our property record cards, as far as the value for your home, any details that are included on that card are right on the website. So we encourage people to look at those and understand their value and ask us if they have questions, because we want everything to be, efficient and correct. So with that, I can get back to the questions, the 3 questions. If nobody has any questions on the rest of it.
Anybody have any questions?
No questions, just a comment. I appreciate you doing that breakdown of what it would look like if we did split commercial and residential.
Yeah.
Complete agreement that it doesn't make sense at this time because
Yeah.
of the limited benefit.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, we want to attract new businesses to town. I mean, I should ask Courtney, is there a plan in the works to give potential new businesses a tax break initially? I know some places do that.
Yeah, I don't know if we'd have to get into that, yeah.
That would be a discussion for you all to
Yeah,
have
okay.
Yeah.
at some point.
There's like laws and rules
Yeah.
around tax increment financing, and so there's a
Okay.
whole
Yeah, you
process. And real quick, I can say early on in my time here, there was one business
that was interested in pursuing that with us, and we met with them, and we brought the state in, but they have to meet very strict guidelines, and one of the big ones is they have to prove that they could not be able to come to town were it not for the tax break, and this
Oh.
business couldn't document that.
Gotcha.
So it's a
Okay.
very rigorous process.
Okay.
And I'll just add too that for the split rate question, it's in your packets too, but there's evidence to show that really you have to be, or you should be, in a place where commercial is consistently 20 to 25% of the share before you start to consider it. And it's also difficult to go back. So once you've relieved the residential class of a little bit of that burden, it's very difficult once you shift it off to come back. So it's just, I don't think we're there yet, but that's a bit of the reasoning behind it when you would start to consider it.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So for the seniors or those interested in the work-off program or the other ways that they may, obtain assistance with this increase that will be substantial to some, where would they or how would they find out more about that?
They can come see us in the assessor's office. They can call. The information is also on the website. There's a lot of it under our page, but it is there. The senior exemption is based on age, asset. It's asset and income based, as well as the work off for seniors. The veterans is separate. It's any disabled or service connected disability. That paperwork would entitle you to an abatement as a home or a property owner in Rockland. So I would say come see us. Julie at the senior center is great with. She initiates the work off part of it for the seniors. But we're all. Either one of us is happy to answer questions and help someone understand what's needed.
Thank you.
I had a question on the work-off program too. Is there a limited number of seniors that can do it per year?
Yes. So we just increased that to 10. I don't think we're at capacity yet. I think we're doing better. I think we had about 5 or 6 last year. So I think we may have a few more slots this year, but Julie would have that information or that answer.
Okay, 10
But-
seems like still a low number.
It does, yeah.
In impending, financially challenging times.
Yes.
Coming up. Who decides? Is it the state that decides the number, or?
Nope,
No,
the
no?
town would decide
Okay.
because it's funded through the overlay.
Yeah.
So if we decided to increase it, that would be a decision for the finance committee, I think, and
Okay.
I don't think the Board of Assessors would make that decision, but I think it would be the
Just food
finance
for
committee.
thought.
Yeah, I think the other point too is just sort of what's the capacity for the work? Is there enough work in different departments that can be managed and overseen? So something they can look at.
Okay.
Anybody else?
So I can briefly just run through these questions and then I can close my portion so that you all can vote. The first question is I know we talked a lot about the split rate, but the residential that's the one that is I think most important to talk about for us. But the residential exemption is common in resort communities or big cities. So basically it's shifting the burden within the residential class. It's giving a break to owner-occupied property owners. So like Boston, adopted this, towns in the Cape, Nantucket, things like that. So where you have a big amount of non-owner occupied properties, this would make sense. So the Board of Assessors has recommended a no vote on the residential exemption for fiscal '26. The second question, which we spoke about already, is the residential factor, which is the split rate. So again, our numbers were not quite at that percentage share where we would start considering it. Our Board of Assessors has recommended a residential factor of 1, which is the single tax rate for fiscal year '26. Lastly, the third question is the small commercial exemption. This one is a little bit unique. So this one shifts the tax burden within the commercial class. Its intent is to give a benefit to building owners that have businesses that are less than 10 employees. So the trouble with it is it's hard to manage that information as far as what businesses are where, and also it's not guaranteed that the businesses are going to get the benefit of that exemption. So the property owners may get it, will get it, and you don't know that it will be passed down to the business owners. This one also, our Board of Assessors has recommended a no vote on the small commercial exemption for '26.
Okay. Thank you, Megan. Any other questions before I entertain a motion to close the public hearing? Okay, I see John shaking his head. Okay, so with that, I'll entertain a motion to close this portion unless there's any residents, members of the audience that have any desire to speak on this topic. Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
Motion to close the public hearing.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. All those in favor, Select Person Elwood?
Yes.
Select Person Needham?
Yes.
Select Person O'Donnell?
Yes.
Vice Chair Childs?
Yep.
And myself. Okay, public hearing portion is now closed. Make a motion that the town of Rockland does not adopt a residential exemption for fiscal year 2026.
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. All those in
Second.
favor?
Yep.
It's unanimous. I make a motion for the town of Rockland to adopt a residential factor of 1, a single tax rate for fiscal year 2026.
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor? That's unanimous. I make a motion that the town of Rockland does not adopt a small commercial exemption for fiscal year 2026.
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor? And that's unanimous. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Megan.
Appreciate your time. Next on the agenda, license renewals. Now, ordinarily, it's the, kind of the policy that the newest member reads. However, I'm well aware that Mr. O'Donnell is feeling under the weather, and he did his work last time. I understand Mr. Elliott is also under the weather tonight, so, Vice Chair Childs,
Yeah,
have at it.
I can read.
I know you
Man,
can.
it's a lot of them. Okay.
Mike, may I make one comment before Lori reads them?
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
I just want to explain, as I think I indicated at the last meeting, we still do not have the banners liquor license renewal on this list. Again, they have an innkeeper license, and they're currently not operating the inn. As the board is well aware, we've had a lot of meetings and discussions on building code compliance there. We're hoping to have a site visit with all the inspectional staff and our attorney at the banner sometime over the next week or so that we can determine whether by your next meeting in 2 weeks, whether they'll be able to be considered for renewal by you or not. And the reason why that date is important is because if we and they don't get that done by the end of the calendar year, then essentially they would have to start completely over from scratch with a whole new application with the ABCC in the future. But we obviously can't renew a license that isn't appropriate or safe. So I just wanted to explain why the banner's not on here, but I think a final decision, one way or the other, could be made at your next meeting in 2 weeks.
Thank you, Doug.
Thank you. Okay, Common Victular, the Brown Bag Deli, 125 Weymouth Street, Best Western Rockland, 909 Hingham Street, Luca South Shore, 933 Hingham Street, D'Angelo Sandwich Shop, 144 Market Street, Themis Pizza, 488 Market Street, Stevie G's Restaurant, 372 Market Street, Top Shelf Bistro, 120 Bill Delahunt Parkway, Corner Pizza, 312 Union Street, China Plaza Restaurant, 35 Market Street, McDonald's, 117 Market Street, Magoo's Ice Cream, 190 VFW Drive, Anita Marie's Breakfast and Lunch, 349 Union Street, Rockland Golf Course, 276 Plain Street, Wendy's, 1111 Hingham Street, Mike's Pizzeria, 315 Union Street, Rockland House of Pizza, 197 Union Street, TK O'Shea's, 934 Hingham Street, Roy's Kebab, 928 Hingham Street, Players Sports Bar and Grill, 86 VFW Drive, Dunkin' Donuts, 851 Hingham Street, Dunkin' Donuts, 1149 Hingham Street, Dunkin' Donuts, 147 Market Street, Seasons Cafe, 938 Hingham Street, Greek House of Pizza, 343 Center Ave, Dina's Pizza, 930 Hingham Street, Space Bistro, 323 Union Street, Automatic Amusement, Fraternal Order of Eagles, Erie number 841, 29 Park Street, Old Colony VFW Post number 1788 Incorporated, 22 Church Street, Players Sports Bar and Grill, 86 VFW Drive, Rockland Ice Rink, 599 Summer Street, Entertainment, Luca South Shore, 933 Hingham Street, Stevie G's Restaurant, 372 Market Street, Top Shelf Bistro, 120 Bill Delahunt Parkway, China Plaza Restaurant, 35 Market Street, Rockland Golf Course, 276 Plain Street, Mike's Pizzeria, 315 Union Street, Fraternal Order of Eagles, area number 841, 29 Park Street, Old Colony VFW, post number 1788 Incorporated, 22 Church Street, TK O'Shea's, 934 Hingham Street, Players Sports Bar and Grill, 86 VFW Drive, Rockland Ice Rink, 599 Summer Street, Space Bistro, 323 Union Street. Lodging, Triangle House, 167 West Water Street, 5 Union Street LLC on 5 Union Street. Inn holders, Best Western Rockland, 909 Hingham Street, Comfort Inn Rockland, 850 Hingham Street. Class 1, Hillcrest, 401 Beach Street, BMW of Rockland, 1040 Hingham Street, Mini of Rockland, 1040 Hingham Street, Ira Volvo Cars South Shore, 1030 Hingham Street. Land Rover Rockland, 1022 Hingham Street. Class 2, Advanced Transmission and Clutch, 511 Plain Street. Supreme Muffler and Brake, 218 VFW Drive. Lou's Auto Body, 577 Market Street. WCS Automotive, 1 Bishop Lane. Atlantic Automotive, GE LLC, 50 John Dunn Memorial Drive. McGee Used Cars, Inc. at 511 Union Street. AMZ Auto Center at 240 Center Ave. Southern Auto Sales, 199 VFW Drive. Fader Motors, 15 Bishop Lane. Taxi Livery, EFK LLC, 482 Union Street. Whew.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve, assuming that all obligations are met.
Motion to approve?
Motion. Do I have a second. A motion and a second. All those in favor?
Yep.
And that's unanimous. Thank you, Lori, for reading it.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Next on the agenda, other new business not reasonably anticipated.
I have none.
Okay, next on the agenda, old business. Other old business not reasonably anticipated.
I have none.
Also none. Town administrators report and correspondence. Doug.
Thanks, Mike. Just 3 things tonight. The first is an update on the fire station project. As I mentioned to the board earlier, we had received 10 separate proposals from owners project management firms. Our internal staff team interviewed 4 finalists about 2 weeks ago, and I'm pleased to announce that we have selected Pomeroy Associates, which are located out of East Bridgewater, as our OPM for this project. We feel really good about it. The size, scale, cost of our fire station project is exactly in their wheelhouse. They've done many projects, many fire station projects of this exact size and scale. I've also personally worked with them on a police and fire station project in the past with great success. They're also currently working for the town of Abington, managing their DPW and fire station building project. So their immediate next steps are going to be to help us review the architect's fee proposal to carry us through the whole rest of this building project. Then they're going to review the plans and specs that the architects put together for the demolition of the Lincoln School building. Then they're going to oversee the procurement and the contract administration with a contractor that's going to do the actual demo. And then last but certainly not least, then they'll dig in helping review the architect's final design and construction plans for the new building. So we're very excited to have them on board. Next, regarding the Pleasant Street landfill project, as the board knows, we received 4 proposals. Staff, along with our engineering consultant and our land use council, reviewed them all. We are going to recommend that one of those 4 proposals be rejected out of hand for not having their proposal being in strict accordance with the requirements of our RFP. And we're going to recommend that the other 3 remaining firms have a public interview before the board at your next meeting on December 16th. And we'll provide a memorandum for you with some suggested questions, which you can obviously supplement with whatever else you'd like to ask. We should obviously ask the same questions of all the firms. So that is moving forward. And then last, I just wanted to publicly announce that I was pleased that I successfully received my International City Manager Association credentialed manager designation, and I talked about that application at a previous meeting. It's not just sort of a rubber stamp with something you fill out and you're done with it. It's a kind of a lifelong, meaning the life of your professional career, sort of lifelong professional development, and there's a lot of 360 reviews and other types of feedback we get to actually implement some of the things that we've learned through reflection, through feedback we get from our peers, board members, others, as well as through professional development training. So I'm pleased to announce that as well. And that's all I have. Thanks.
Doug, congratulations on that. That's very big for you.
Thank you.
Okay. Next on the agenda, select board comments. Comments and opinions expressed by individual members do not necessarily reflect the views of the select board. The opinions and comments of only the individual member. Select board member O'Donnell.
Thanks. Quick one tonight. Laurie mentioned it, but I'll mention it again. She and I attended the Firefighter of the Year Awards out in Worcester at Mechanics Hall. Beautiful building, by the way. If anyone gets a chance to go to Worcester, check out that building if you like old architecture. It's gorgeous. Want to commend the firefighters who won that award, especially Tommy Henderson for getting the Medal of Valor. Again, kudos to our police and fire for the handling of the Webster Park rehab, and especially the Webster Park staff. Your response was amazing. To see no residents hurt, outstanding. Holiday stroll, another success. Really beautiful weather for the stroll. It was great to see everyone, and thank you to all the organizers for making that another successful event. I want to thank the Pond Street area residents for inviting John and I out for a community meeting, for the opportunity to listen to your thoughts and concerns. Want to invite any other Rockland residents or neighborhood groups want to grab the ear of myself. I don't want to promise the other board members, but certainly suggest you reach out if you have a preference on which board member you want to speak with. Happy to listen. I said it to those folks. I go to these things and listen to be educated. We can't be good leaders of the community unless we're educated to all of our residents' concerns, as well as projects that we may not have all the information on. So thank you again. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Select Board Member Elwood?
Yeah, I think quite literally everything that Steve just said. I agree that heading out, meeting with the community members is always great. Kudos to everyone involved in the stroll. It was another success. And I said this earlier, but we have a great set of first responders here in town. And I'm very happy and proud of the work that those men and women do for us every day. And congratulations to Doug on achieving that designation. I know that's quite a feather in your cap, and great job there.
Thank you, John. Select Board Member Needham?
Once again, I fully agree with those comments. Olivia McCormick, Jean Blaney, and your team, on a shoestring, you put together a spectacular event for, not only our town, but for anyone who'd want to come to Rockland, and it attracts many people from so many different towns. So many towns do not take on this kind of effort, and yet each season your team does this for us, and it brings together all ages, and it's spectacular. So I wanted to thank you so much for all of your hard work, because it literally is so much work. So thank you, Rockland Recreation. Of course, to our fire department and our police department. Thank you for bringing your best every day to keep us safe. Doug, you bring your best to us as well every day, and the fact that you have been recognized is something that I think is absolutely wonderful. We all know that you've been world class all along, but to have this recognition, further emphasizes how fortunate we are. So thank you.
Thank you, Tiffany, although I wouldn't quite say it's world class. I saw the look on his face. He just sat back and smiled. I was like, oh God, we're going to hear that at the next negotiations.
How's this? I will say it again. So thank you.
All right. Vice Chair Childs.
Yeah, congratulations, Doug. It's quite an accomplishment, and it further buffers your professionalism, right? Such a good thing. Thumbs up to the stroll team, coming right off of Halloween and seemingly going right into the stroll. It's you guys are just aces, and the rec department does take contributions from people for the stroll. It helps them out. So if you can, throw a little love their way. I'd also like to recognize the death of a 75-year resident of Rockland, Miss Madeline Ledden. She was phenomenal. She helped all the kids in the neighborhood always. She's like a second mom to everybody, and she will be missed. So she was 99 years old. She almost made it to 100. And also, January 7th, 2026 nomination papers are available if you would like to run for office. We would love to have some people run for the Water Commission and especially the Board of Health. So just wanted to put that out there. That's it.
Thank you, Lori.
Mhm.
So it's always difficult going last. Everybody already talks about everything, but
Yeah.
obviously tremendous job by everybody that worked on the holiday stroll. It was extremely well attended, great numbers. Steve, to your point, despite it being cold, the weather was great. You know, it held out. And it's been a lot colder in other years, so it wasn't that bad. I'm not complaining. One thing nobody brought up tonight was the food pantry. I had reached out to
Yes.
Maria Zona about possibly being on this meeting, but she didn't really have much to present. She's pretty busy over the food pantry. Just last month, the Scout Drive brought in over 15,000 pounds of food, and in a lot of cases, they don't have places to put this product. So it's being stored at off-site facilities at this time. So while they're not asking for people to not donate food, that's never going to be a thing that they're going to ask. They're pretty well set for right now, but they will accept donations. They can also take donations in a monetary value as well. So they're constantly trying to find different options to expand their facility or find a different off-site, facility where they can have more storage options for the amount of food that they take in, that they provide for. So like I said, there's multiple places right now that are holding mass quantities of food that was taken in for the food pantry. So with that, just continue to donate. If you're looking for things to do during the holidays, organizations to donate to, know that it's going to good use. But as far as doing giant food drives, maybe, pump the brakes to the beginning of next year or something like that anyway. And with that said, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. No executive session tonight. First time, long time.
Motion to adjourn.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor, roll call. Select Board Member Elwood.
Yes.
Select Board Member Needham.
Yes.
Select Board Member O'Donnell.
Yes.
Vice Chair Childs.
Yep.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great night.